I'm the chairman for the Texas Police Chiefs Association Alarm Committee, and in that capacity I represent 1,900 law enforcement agencies that range from a one-man department to about 5,000 personnel in a department. So there's a huge spectrum there. And when we talk about what this definition is and what it means to them and their response for alarms, number one, it lets them truly prioritize the alarms. The alarms that don't come to them fitting that definition as a verified alarm, it will allow them to set those alarms to a priority that they probably give alarms already down there on the bottom of the call stack. But the calls that truly do merit a higher response, those get pushed to the top, those get the response they need to actually make arrests. And that's what we're all going for here, because you take that guy off the street that's committing the offenses, you've solved that crime. You probably solve a handful of crimes that have occurred before that guy's already committed that you can tie to this one or that he confesses to. And then you solve all the crime, or you prevent all the crimes that he's not going to do while he's sitting in jail. So it's a big deal to make an arrest on one of these calls, because it makes a difference in the actual crime rate that affects that city or that jurisdiction. Right now, have an informal process of alarm verification. It is a high-end community. There's a lot of high-end alarm systems that incorporate video, and when we get a call that the operator tells us that there is video associated with the alarm, we treat that with the same priority that we treat a crime in progress for whatever type of alarm it is.
But in the situations where video or other technologies are used to verify the alarms, has that worked well for you? Has that been accepted by the law enforcement community that you work with? What's your thoughts there?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a training bulletin out for all of our PSAPs. All of our field deputies have seen it, and all of our calls that are taken, we will definitely increase our priority to respond. It is definitely working, and even in some situations where they sent us a video, we didn't even have to look at it. We get to the scene and the deputies didn't see anything, but it's one of the few times having some sort of validation that there was something going on, that they requested a helicopter and they caught the suspects lying on the roof. So it's definitely working for us, and I would say that if we can catch people, in addition to bringing more credibility to the alarm system itself, one of the biggest problems that we see with the alarms today is a lot of false alarms still and real bad contact information. But the video verified solutions have brought a lot of credibility to the alarms, because it's more vetted. Obviously, it's more verified, and it brings that priority response to that type of an alarm.
If you would, maybe just explain briefly, what does that prioritization process look like in the PSAP? So if something's called in, it's declared verified, or how does that translate into a different level of priority for the responding officer?
It becomes a burglary in progress, treated the same exact way as a burglary in progress. If it comes in, we have a video verification at this address. Changes everything for them. I think the captain touched on that earlier. Then they know. These are smart folks out there, and they know that they change their response technique then. So it's viewed as a crime in progress.
In terms of alarm prioritization, how we're set up at our shop is we essentially have three priorities. Priority one will be a robbery alarm, like at a business. Priority twos are going to be more in line of like a silent burglary alarms, residential panic alarms, and then a priority three would just be an audible burglary alarm. Now, back to the priority two, if we have, and that's just the way they're input into our computer-aided dispatch system. That's just the options that we have. What bumps a priority two call up in terms of getting a better response is when we have video or audio verification, without a doubt. And what happens is the dispatcher is able to gather that information, and then they relay that over the radio as opposed to just through the MDC. And that alerts the supervisors in the field that we're going to change our tactics on this. And we start moving canines to that area. We'll use our helicopter and start moving to those areas, pulling deputies off of other calls, and it just gives us a whole different mindset. So again, just echoing what the other law enforcement officers here have said, that's huge for us, and that will continue to be huge for law enforcement in the future.